Hey folks, this is Bobo the Vulture, and although I completely didn't realize it, because I don't even know how you figure this out on counters anymore, but apparently, this is my 1000th video. So, I figured since somebody pointed it out to me, or at least somebody pointed out that my previous one was my 999th. Because, of course, when I look at it and I look at my total uploads, I have a number of videos that I never put online because they were test videos to see how things would turn out on YouTube, that sort of thing. But once I looked at that and looked at all the unpublished ones, I counted back down. I was like, you know what? Sure enough. But anyways, so I figure, what way to celebrate that is better than this, the game that is apparently still at this point by far my most popular individual LP um, that I did in 4 parts before. This one I might be able to just do in one, but I'm testing that out. So before we had Bobesia, right? So I guess this time we need to have the Bobo Fever. Or Fur. The Bobo Fervor. Whatever. Backspace is right there, but who wants that? This is my first time playing. I should watch the tutorial. The tutorial can be found in the menu and will explain every feature of the game. I'm not going to do that. Come on, folks. Let's be real here. We all know what's happening. Hey, a disease has arrived in South Africa. I should go to South Africa and check it out. Look at it, there's like 3 of them there. It is durable. Oh, it causes sweating. Well, and I have how many evolution points? How about... that costs 5. How much would insecting cost? 7. How much would airborne transmission cost? 7. I'll go ahead and buy insect for right now. We'll see what happens. And I immediately have more points. Gonna speed things up a little bit. Just a little. 8 people infected, 10 people infected. That's awesome. And get more avenues for it to be spread around. Let's spread the wealth around. The wealth of disease. And that slight hiccup in the music there, as will happen. Oh, a boat just left South Africa, and it's going to... Nope. There was nobody on that boat that had the disease. Odds, of course, are fairly low at this point that any boat that's leaving there would have it. You know what's a real tease about this? The disease is starting in South Africa. Madagascar's right there! But of course, there's no easy route for it to just hop over. That would be too simple. Now, should I go for more modes of transition? Or transmission? Rodent transmission, sure. Indonesia's suffering from drought. Well, perhaps they'd like some disease. Alright, this ship just left South Africa. Where's it going? It's going to Madagascar, isn't it? To immediately deliver the... Oh. It's never going to happen, is it? Water. Waterborne evolution... waterborne disease transmission costs 10 points. And we have 25 people here. Now, I've it's kind of amusing. One of the guys I work with randomly stumbled across this game, and he's not somebody that watches my videos, as far as I'm aware, or even necessarily knows they exist. I don't know. Oh, boat went into Madagascar. Really hoping that somebody with the disease was on it, because you know that's the only way it's going to happen. But he hit upon the theory of as long as you could just not have anybody, or as long as you could have your disease not completely wiped out, like eradicated, didn't matter necessarily, of course, how long it was going to take. So if you just went ahead and bought a bunch of resistances and but still kept it low profile enough that nobody was concerned about it, he was hoping that you'd be able to just sort of pile up a bunch of points. I mean, you could get a certain number of points, but it didn't necessarily work out in the end, I think. But he like left the game running for like a half an hour or an hour or something like that, and he went off and did something else. Then he came back and discovered, yeah, like his number of infected was, I think, probably bobbling somewhere under 30. I think it was actually more like in the teens or something like that. In the teens, the teenage dream of dying from Bobo fervor. Well, that's good that the drought in Indonesia is finally coming to an end. That'd be terrible if. So we got 20 people in South Africa right now who are abnormally sweaty. And that's pretty much, okay, 16 people. But yeah, the number of people who are abnormally sweaty. Nobody's died from this disease, which means that pretty much every time these numbers change, somebody getting better, or somebody catching the disease again. But at this point in time, there are people who are infected who are managing to fight off this parasite, the Bobo fervor. Don't worry, folks. We'll eventually make sure that that doesn't happen anymore. How much do these resistances cost? They cost 1 apiece. Moisture resistance is a good one to have. Now, if you get your moisture resistance up to level 2, and the transmission is waterborne, you can affect the water supply of a country. You can get it into the water supply, which will make it spread really quickly, but again, it will make scientists freak out. Or doctors. Doctors are scientists too, folks. Medicine is a science. New Zealand has been hit by an earthquake. Like, I suppose I could just pan around the world here, but there's no real reason to. So far, no one has gotten the disease outside of South Africa. What gives? Let's take a look at the world here. Take a look at my world, friends. Yep, in fact, oh, the population that is infected is up to 56, though. You can see it's getting resistant to things, which I guess is meaning that people aren't fighting it off as easily. Or the disease itself isn't dying from being out in the open as quickly. Madagascar is suffering from drought. Now's the time! Go! Boat! Strike Madagascar! Strike them with Bobo fervor! Yes, disco fervor! No, but it's not going to happen, is it? It's just not gonna. I love how they all get to about here, and a lot of the times they're on a direct course for Madagascar, and then they go, oh, never mind. Psych! Juke! Oh, I can get another level of resistance here. Let's go with some drug resistance. Sweating is, generally speaking, not a very good symptom to have because it makes somebody noticeable and it doesn't actually do any good. It doesn't help you transmit the disease, and it can help people avoid. It can help people survive. Like if one of your symptoms is fever and another symptom is sweating, you're actually helping somebody by having the symptom of sweating because they'll be able to regulate their temperature even though they have a fever. They can sweat it out. Fight it out. So how much does moisture resistance 2 cost? It costs 6. I could get it now If I do, I'll almost certainly frighten the community. What if I bought heat resistance level 2? And considering it hasn't gotten anywhere in the world at this point except South Africa, I'm a little disappointed. People in South Africa travel. See, there's a plane that left South Africa right now. And I know according to the Aerobiz model, there's not a whole lot of earthquake, quick, send Bobo Fervor to Madagascar. They're not going to do it. Oh, I got 1,000 people infected. That's good, right? It's great. The aftershocks have ceased. What's wrong with you, Madagascar? Why can't you just accept the death and move along? Alright. How's the rest of the world look anyways? How do you look, Canada? Well, you have a lot of healthy people. The numbers are just sort of bouncing around. Slowly increasing, I guess. Oh, there was drought in Madagascar too that whole time. We could have had moisture resistance 2, or cold resistance 2. Moisture and drug resistance, I feel like, are the ones that will start to make people worry. I know what you're thinking, folks. Cold resistance? Why would you bother with cold resistance in South Africa? Well, look at South Africa. It's down a ways. I mean, it does get cold in South Africa, from what I've been told. A buddy of mine was recently on vacation in South Africa, so there you go. And he said it was cold there because he went during the, I guess, end of summertime. He was there for a while now, I think about it. You can tell how close of a friend because I'm thinking like, how long was he there? I can't remember. Oh, well. But, you know, an associate. Good dude. But either way, I don't know that he got the Bobo Fervor. I'm hoping that he didn't because he would have brought it to America. Ah, boat came here and nothing happened. Every time a boat comes to Madagascar, it should be filled with diseases. All manner of diseases. Aftershocks have ceased in Brazil. I mean, you got a good number of people in South Africa who are affected at this point. Alright, let's add moisture resistance. This is going to make people a little bit suspicious. Yep, Africa's water supply is immediately affected, which means that the infected population should go up dramatically. But it also means that other countries are probably going to start panicking, even though none of them even have the disease yet. I mean, give me a break, guys. I mean, come on. Hey, the disease has been spotted in the Middle East. Hooray! Look at all those people. Disease spreads to China. Government of South Africa shuts down. Disease rise in New Zealand. Oh, they shut down public transit in South Africa. Disease is spread to India. I'm waiting for a boat to arrive here. Take a curve in. Do it. Why didn't you? Uh-oh. South Africa's starting to wilt now. You, make a stop. Make a stop. Madagascar. Swing over. You son of a... I'm gonna click and drag you back. Go. Oh, diseases in West Europe. South Africa is closing schools. You know, at this point in time, I couldn't blame Madagascar for shutting down their port. I'm gonna be really angry when it happens. Turn! Go into Madagascar. Diseases in Canada. Government of South Africa shut down. They're exterminating rodents. Airports, diseases. News is coming in rapidly. Perhaps I should slow things down so that we can read these things. They're enforcing curfew. Middle East is closing airports. North Africa is closing airports. Government of North Africa is starting to hand out bottled water because of infected water supplies. Yeah, you see, the water supply of most of these countries that have little water supply icons, and I guess it only just got to Australia, so it has yet to affect the water supply there. But it will. Oh, it will. Government in India is starting to hand out masks. Alright, well, let's look at the world. Oh. Damn it. It happened. You shut down your shipyards. Well, that's it then. In that case, it's time to start unlocking some tears for fears. Wow. This disease already has a mind of its own. It really wants you to be depressed. It really wants to screw with your head, apparently. Yeah, I mean, it's dysfunctioned in as many ways as possible. It will mess with your emotions. It will mess with your perception of reality, and it will mess with your ability to control your body. Bobo Fervor is just about your mind going crazy loco. So far, it has not actually been lethal. Yeah, okay, so we can't get Madagascar. So pesticides. I mean, hey, last time I won, you got to see what happens when you win. Now you'll get to see the you lose message. The governments have begun researching a vaccine to prevent my disease from affecting new individuals. Well, crud. China is declaring martial law. Okay, with 12 evolution points. Can I make this? I mean, I can't even unlock the final tier of symptoms. Hemorrhaging. I can't buy hemorrhaging. I could buy insanity. Insane people often pose a risk to themselves and others. It's noticeable it allows the infection to explode. You know what? I'm gonna do it anyways, just because it's thematically consistent with the rest of my disease. It will make you insane, depressed, demented, and you will lose motor control. Cuba is dealing with widespread flooding. Sea spreads to Peru. Government of West Europe shuts down its hospitals. That's right. What are you guys even thinking trying to get a total number of hospitals? So we've already shut down a bunch. 46 days to completion. We can figure this out. Nobody's actually died of the disease yet, have they? Even though I added a potentially fatal symptom of insanity. China's suffering from drought. Russia's closing its airports. Argentina also suffering from drought. Russia will start exterminating rodents. Handing out masks. Brazil, you've shut down your show. Okay, 38 more days still. Alright. I kind of need some good symptoms at this point. I give myself several fun ones, but I think it's time to actually start getting. Oh, they've closed down even more hospitals, so we're back up to 44 days until completion of the vaccine. The United States, Mexico, and Madagascar. Is there any way for it to get in to the United States at this point? I'm guessing they've closed their borders, huh? No, the borders are open. Somebody could walk in from Canada. Now, Mexico, they're safe. Canada's handing out bottled water. And yet, nobody is infected, or nobody has died from this yet. 37 more days until completion. Government of Canada starting to hand out masks. It's a game of chicken, folks. 34 days until completion. The borders are open. You could get people into the United States. Apparently, people in Canada. I mean, obviously the borders in Mexico are closed, so people can't get in, they can't get out. But the border with Canada, which is one of the, I can't remember if it's just one of the, or if it is the largest, yeah, I think it's the largest unprotected border in the world, one of the largest borders in the world. Somebody could just walk across here from Canada and, like, sneeze a lot. But apparently everybody in Canada is like, you know what, forget it. We would rather live with Bobo Ferber than go down and live in America. You can forget America, man. Or over, in the case of, like, if you're down here in sort of in southern Ontario, you could just hop over. There are parts of Canada where you could go north and end up in the United States, folks. People don't think about it that way, but it's absolutely possible. 15 points. I could start giving people some stuff. Give people boils. Boils are caused by inflamed hair follicles. Dead tissue accumulates in the inflamed areas. Oh, it inflames. Sores. Those are fun. I forget, are there any super cool... All the skills in Tier 4 are really expensive, though. I don't know if I'm going to get enough money for them. What if we just start going with some cheapo symptoms down here? Stuff like vomiting. Fever, I need a few more points for. Vomiting and sores. That'll make people plenty sad. Also, there's only 5 more days until the completion of the vaccine. Come on. If I can get people to start dying, then the hospitals will slow down. Oh boy. I don't even I mean, it may be a chance the vaccine will work. There's a chance that the vaccine will work, and there's a chance that it won't. Canada shut down its hospitals. The recently developed vaccine has been developed and is now being deployed. It might work, it might not. Keep them crossed, folks. Not that we're going to kill humanity at this rate anyway. I did make some changes to the disease since it initially got okay, approximate days to completion done. Deployment not done yet. Give me one more point. Give me one more point. Give me one more point. If you can change the disease during its deployment, I think that helps too. I'll give people fatigue as well. New symptom. The recently deployed vaccine has not worked as intended. The human population is still vulnerable to infection. Bitches! Oh, really? You've started to research a vaccine? No kidding. I, for one, am stunned. It'll take 158 days now, because there's only 5 hospitals working on it. Approximately a fifth of them. Hey, first victim dies in New Zealand. Wait. Are okay. Reports of death are coming in all over. It was fatigue that did it, folks. Once people started to get tired, there was no way. There was just no way. Reports of death are coming in from everywhere. Martial law in Canada. America, is your border still open? Okay, you've closed your borders at last. Way to go. The rest of the world is gonna die except Madagascar, Mexico, and America. So we will inherit the earth, apparently. Sorry, rest of the world. We didn't actually plan this one. This one. Oh. There you go. The rest of the world is red, except for this little landmass that is Madagascar. And of course, those two nations right there. Nations of the United States and Mexico. Ah, there's no healthy people in Canada. There's no healthy people in Greenland. Yeah, let's see if we can completely eradicate all of the rest of the world except those nations, at least. That should be what ends up happening. That should be the end game here. Yeah. And as long as there isn't any, as long as there aren't any healthy people in these regions, we should be fine. Russia, 0. Eastern Europe, 0. Western Europe, 0. India, 0. China, 0. Japan, 0. Indonesia, 0. Australia, 0. And New Zealand, probably looking at 0 too. Alright, so now it doesn't matter whether they come up with a vaccine. We can't infect any of the people on the earth that don't have the disease already. We can't infect any of them. Anyway, because their borders are all closed. Madagascar, shut down everything! Alright, what else do we want to give people? They're already vomiting. I don't even have enough points to unlock tier 4 at this point. Don't need anything that will expose others. Now I just need things that can be fatal. This can be a serious health condition. And if we have one more evolution point, we can put that into fever, which will add on with everything else. Hey, 5, we got more points. Now, people will hopefully start dying fairly quickly. Because at this point, we got nothing else to do except wait for them all to die. Waiting for you all to die, folks. You could pick it up any time if you felt like it. I'm just saying, we got no other reason to be. So yeah, folks, 1,000 videos. This is video number 1,000. Funnily enough, Video 1000 is apparently going to be a fail video. Um, Video 500 was Cannibalt, wasn't it? Yeah, the run along, jump over things. Um, oh man, the U.S. is dealing with widespread flooding. That does seem to happen occasionally, doesn't it? Get big ol' hurricanes hitting here, there, wherever along the East Coast or the Gulf Coast. And, geez, you just have serious situations following. Let's see. Oh, I got 5 more points. I could buy another cheapo skill, or I could just not be bothered. At this point, I might just not be bothered. But anyhow, folks, it's been a good run. It's been a good run. Like, oh, this is my retirement. No, I'm not retiring from LPing. With this video, that would be the lame way to retire. I suppose maybe it wouldn't. I have no idea how a person retires from LPing anyways. Do they usually do it with like a screenshot of their channel and being like, I'm going to close this account now. Click. Speaking of videos of people's channels showing where they're doing something, I saw recently where Grimmeth had to, well, I guess he didn't have to. He might have eventually been strongly coerced to through, legal threats. Get rid of a playlist of Shining Force, which is unfortunate because I was enjoying that, watching that whole thing go through. I don't know if it's specifically something to do with Shining Force or whether or not it's something that Sega is doing. But, yeah, I've not run into too many problems with that I can think of. I know, and it was unfortunately something we couldn't do very much with, but I know Mysterious JG was having some problems with his playlist of Fallout 3. Not Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas. He'd recorded all of those videos before he left for Afghanistan. He's back from Afghanistan now, so he recorded, well, however many there are there now, like 40, 52, 53, some odd, something like that. Videos, Fallout New Vegas, that he had gotten recorded as a backlog so that he could put them all up in it, so that I could put them up on his channel while he was away. 15 months later, as I put them up one by one, a lot of them end up being blocked in many countries. Other ones end up having an ad put in front of them. He's not getting money from those ads. It is, I guess, the people that hold the rights to the music, probably. And that's really unfortunate now that I think about it, because, like I know a lot of people like to do LPs to like highlight games that are kind of obscure, that maybe people haven't heard of. I like doing that occasionally, but mainly I just like, oh, I want to play a game, and if you want to tag along, that's great. And in that sort of vein, I was thinking it might be nice to do like some of the Grand Theft Auto games at some point. But with the exception of like the first, I don't think the first two had any copyrighted or well, I mean, maybe copyrighted, maybe not, but like any like sort of like label released music on them. The first two Grand Theft Autos, the like overhead perspective ones, the ones everybody forgets now, even though those are the first ones I played. Those ones were really fun. Sort of an overhead perspective, and your controls were sort of that. I always equate it with RC Pro-Am, but that sort of style where, like you use the left and right buttons and you like rotate your character, and, up and down are like move forward in the direction that your guy is pointing or backward, depending. I like those games. I know I got a copy of at least Grand Theft Auto 2 for PC hanging around someplace. I don't know where on earth it is, though. I never like got all the whole way through that game. That was one of those games. Even more so, the feel to me was even more so than like Grand Theft Auto 2 or Grand Theft Auto 3 and later. Blindness. All right. By unlocking this new tier, I've now made the majority of the world's population blind. That's what's happened now. That didn't immediately get me 7 points, but it makes infected individuals greatly more noticeable. In theory, they lack due to physiological or neurological complications. Well, considering everything else that's happening with these people's brains, I mean, it could be something else, but you know, chances are. 'Cause I wear a silly grin the moment you come into view. Chances are you think that I'm in love. Will you? What I actually mean to say is, I found Grand Theft Autos 1 and 2, even more so than the later ones, to be games that were just sort of like open-ended, just drive around and commit random acts of mayhem just for the hell of it. Grand Theft Auto, like, I don't even remember if there was. I think there was a plot. So, I mean, there were definitely missions you could go on in Grand Theft Auto 1. Grand Theft Auto 2, I know there were for sure. And, like, basically, you had to build up, like, a respect meter. And after you'd accomplished a certain number of missions or something like that, then you would be able to move to, like, the next city. But, like, they had missions in them, but, like, I found whenever I ended up playing them, a lot of the time it would just be like, all right, let's maybe go find a cool car, drive around really fast, run over a bunch of people, get away from the cops, then send the car into like the crusher, and then go steal another one, and repeat the process, which was a lot of fun, to be sure. Grand Theft Auto 2 also had a multiplayer mode. They had like little arena maps where you could drive around and do like blow other guys up sort of games and stuff. Um, The PC version did. Again, I can't remember or wouldn't be as familiar with the console versions. Why am I talking about Grand Theft Auto 2 while doing Let's Play of Pandemic 2? Your guess is as good as mine, folks. Perhaps because, I pretty much. This is the way that this game goes. You pretty much know how it's going to end after, like, 1/3 of the overall gameplay time has elapsed. You'll know whether you've infected all regions of the world, and if you have, chances are pretty good that you will eradicate the human race. If you haven't, and some regions of the world, what's going on here? There we go. Haha. Must have hit a little button on the browser the wrong way. Hit my scroll wheel or something. My apologies, folks. Haha, professional at work right here. Um, yeah, so probably that's a reason why I'm sitting here going, I don't know. What do you want out of me? Encephalitis. It's the acute inflammation of the brain. I need one more point. Yeah, I kind of need to get inflammation of the brain. That's pretty much the thing that I need out of these. So let me wait till I get one more point. Hey! Speak of Cao Cao and he will appear. Encephalitis. Lethality. Hey, it's like that French motto. Lethality. Lethalite, infectivity, visibility. Wasn't that it? Liberté, infectability, and visibility. Egalite and capite. That's how it all goes. Yeah, but at this point, I mean, I could be going around and like carefully clicking, like, "Oh, are you dead yet?" No. Well, you're down to 1,000 people. That's kind of interesting. Is anybody else almost dead? Not really, you say? Well, that's a little disappointing now, isn't it? I mean, Greenland is the most sparsely populated region up here, so it would make sense if they would be the first to go. Um, but yeah. So, what's coming up in the future on the channel? Because I might as well just use this as a channel update rambly sort of thing at this point. Um, Probably starting sometime in the new year, I might start a new series or two. I'm probably going to be, sad to say, but I'm probably going to be sort of going on fumes until then. Um, just trying to get by, both with, I mean, I'll continue recording Let's Watch Red Play Legend of Dragoon, but sort of like puttering along with other stuff, maybe getting by with like little one video quickie things that I can record off of the web or something from here or there. Just because before I get started on any more long-term Let's Play projects, I'd like to get the construction of my new computer out of the way, which will probably be happening in like early 2013. Watch for it, folks! You don't need to watch for it. It'll happen or it won't. It'll probably happen. Unless I get seriously lazy and decide, oh, I don't know. This computer that's running Windows XP and has USB slots on its motherboard dying and has the ability to record composite video but nothing greater. Well, S video, I guess, too. It's okay. I care. It's fine. I'm not gonna be bothered putting together anything good. I mean, passable. Forget that. Yeah, I suppose that's true. I might as well make a public petition out here right now. Not for donations to help me build my computer. I'll manage that. But, good capture device. I'd like something that I can use a hardware solution for capturing PC, and then my PC as well as my consoles. I know a lot of people will use software for their PCs. Oh, by the way, um, no signs of life in Greenland. So they are the first of the Forsaken regions. Greenland. Hello, Greenland. Goodbye, Greenland. Wait, did they eventually get another vaccine that was successfully deployed? Yeah, and like I say, it doesn't matter if they did. I guess I can go back and watch this video later and find out if they did. But yeah, no, I know a lot of people like to use software for that, which would be fine, but one, software will consume system resources at the same time as the game that you're playing it will, so you'll end up with like, oh, slow down, lag, buggy, something bad happening. Um, and two, as long as I'm getting something that I can use to record my various consoles, it'd be nice if I just got something that did that. That way I wouldn't have to buy more software, because it seems like the industry standard, if you want to call LPing an industry, is Camtasia. And Camtasia costs, what, a couple $100? I don't want to be dealing with that. Or rather, if I'm going to be spending a couple $100 on something, I want something I can tangibly hold in my hand and will also do other, I want something that'll record everything then at that point. Because there are devices that cost $200 that then record pretty much anything you can plug into them in brilliant HD and all this sort of thing. 22 points. What do I want now? Necrosis. Necrosis is nice. Liver failure is okay. How many points do I have? I have 22. Heart failure will probably be the thing that... heart failure will probably be the one that will accelerate this process the fastest. So maybe I wait for 2 more points. One more to go. Come on. But yeah, and the thing that I'm finding actually is that a lot of the new console, or a lot of the new game capture sort of setups are based entirely around HDMI, which makes a certain amount of sense, don't get me wrong, but doesn't help me because my consoles, I sit and look at them right now, even though I could be looking at the game. My console sitting here, have a PS3, has HDMI output, yes, but if you try and record something using the HDMI signal, PS3 will block the recording of it because there's some variety of something or another. I'm sure that somebody, if they're listening to this and know about it, will probably leave a comment about whatever the actual term of it is. But essentially, Sony has put software or protections onto the PS3 to prevent you from recording its output because they don't want you making illegal copies of Blu-ray movies. You can record off of HDMI using a 360 because you can't play Blu-rays off 360. There used to be an upgrade that you could get to play like HD DVDs on a PS or on a 360, I guess. Have I already gone over all this stuff? I can't even remember what I've said recently in recent histories. Oh, Argentina's devoid of life. Oh, Peru, Australia. Oh, they're fading fast now. But yeah, I got a PS3 there, and then I have a GameCube, a Genesis, and a Retro Duo. All those have composite video output. I could continue recording them using this, like crummy old computer. But okay, we still got places with a few hundred people. It'd be nice if I could get something that like could upscale the Dealy Boppers. Of course, most recorders probably aren't going to do that anyway. So I don't know, folks. Got to figure it all out. Something that's versatile. But humanity has triumphed this day. Look at that. We got millions of people in the U.S. Millions. Let's see, comma. Yeah, we got millions and millions of people in the United States. We got millions and millions of people in... Game over. Mankind has been able to successfully survive despite my best attempts. No one is left on Earth who's infected by your disease. Well, you know what? Forget you too, game. I could have done better. Through random chance, but I could have done better. Try to give me a hard time about humanity being able to successfully survive. Maybe I was pulling for humanity. Maybe I wasn't, but maybe I was. Maybe I took the helm of Bobo Fervor because I wanted to steer it away from destroying everyone. Just most of the people. For some reason, I had an affinity for Madagascar, the United States, and Mexico. I don't know, folks. But regardless, this is Bobo the Vulture doing another playthrough of Pandemic 2 as, well, I guess just as a thousandth video marker, and also this will be an interesting test of a different recording setup I'm using. I'm trying to record using my laptop more often now, just that I don't necessarily have to hog the living room, which is where my desktop computer is. It's usually not a problem, but I do have housemates. Either way, folks, this is Bobo the Vulture. This has been Let's Play It Again, Pandemic 2, and thank you very much for watching. Watch the next 1,000 videos, folks. Bye now.